this is like an Airstream playground.
Yes, it is.
Looks like heaven.
He's very excited. Tell us about what we have here.
Well, welcome to Vintage Vacations. So Vintage Vacations, we've started about 2 years ago in reality, but I would say in my husband's dreamland, started about 15 years ago when he found his first vintage Airstream in a field here in Nova Scotia.
Oh, wow.
Which is typically how a lot of people are introduced to vintage Airstreams. It was sitting in a field in the Annapolis Valley. I think it was love at first sight. And he purchased it from the owner, and then it sat, as many of them do, for years and years and years, just filled with plans and ideas, but no time, effort, or knowledge in how to actually restore a vintage Airstream. We quickly realized through a lot of research that we weren't really as equipped as we thought we were to do this, so we turned to a pro, and that's when we found Craig Dorsey. And Craig Dorsey is a vintage Airstream restorer of world renown. He has been restoring Airstreams and trailers for about 30 years, mostly based in Los Angeles. He's been in all the Airstream books, he's been on all the Airstream television shows, retired about 15 years ago and moved to the Annapolis Valley. So he lives in Clementsville, Nova Scotia. He posted something online that he was looking for a project. I found that post. We connected, and it was,
the stars aligned.
The stars aligned, absolutely. So Craig actually did all of the amazing work to restore our first selection of Airstreams, and we are incredibly grateful.
With Chris and Christy, the first, they came to me and said, you know, we'd like for you to do our Airstream. And I said, well, here's the way I work. You give me a theme. And they said, Palm Springs 1950s. And I said, perfect. That gets me something to look forward to. And I asked them a few basic colors, or a few basic questions. What kind of color, what colors do you like? I think I even had her send me 10 photographs. And I said, if they're non-trailer related, that's even better. Because then if it's trailer related, you're trying to push. Just, you know, what's your favorite forms and surfaces and textures and, you know, living environments and stuff like that. So she sent me a half dozen pictures. I figured them out, and they got to see the damage report, and as I was digging in and all the icky stuff, and as I'm starting to put stuff back together, but once I started creating, they were cut off on photographs, and they didn't get to see it until they showed up. And there's that wow factor at the end.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of that?
Oh, so cool. This is
nice
beautiful.
And bright, isn't it?
Welcome to Roxanne.
Oh my gosh, so this is 25 feet, you said?
This is 25 feet.
All right, so this is the same length as ours, but very different.
Yeah, as I said, the layout is completely different from what the original 1963 layout was. When we spoke with Craig, we wanted something that was going to work for us, that would maintain sort of the kitchen, living, washroom, and front living room space, but would have a little more, I don't know, character and a fun kind of vibe. So hopefully you can see that James Bond meets Mad Men vibe throughout with the cabinetry.
Oh, I love the countertop.
And the cork floors. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, that was definitely a luxury.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
on a cool, when you wake up in the morning and you've got that warm cork floor at your feet. Roxanne was the original. She's the OG, our field baby. She was the first one that we did, and when we started with Craig, really the idea for Vintage Vacations really wasn't in play at that point. We just wanted to have our own Airstream that we could travel and play in. So we met with Craig and we talked about ideas and we talked about aesthetic. Craig is an artist and a master craftsman, and our agreement was you give him the palette and then you step away. I can honestly tell you, he not only met, but unbelievably exceeded my expectations.
Wow.
And that's how our relationship really began. It was like, well, if we have one, maybe we should have two.
Oh, this one is so different.
Oh, I like the butcher block.
Oh, Oh yeah, I like the
And
pink.
the oven is also amazing.
Powder pink.
The oven is also original. So this is the color palette, once again, that Craig took to design the rest of the trailer. Now, you'll notice that the layout of this trailer is completely different than Roxanne. This is the original layout.
Oh.
So this is a 1964 Overlander, and Roxanne and Florence, this is Florence, welcome to Florence. Roxanne and Florence would have been twins back in the day. So you can see the original cabinetry here. Again, the pull-out couch. So this couch will pull forward and make a double bed. And this was the original layout for the kitchen, with the cornered sink, the fridge being there. And then one of the things that we really love about working with Craig is his commitment to authenticity.
Very different.
So when we were pulling the palette and the designs for Florence together, it was really important to him and to us that it stay as authentic as possible. So you'll see some of the light fixtures here. These are all original.
You can
then
tell.
And when it comes to finding the paint, trying to go back to the original source.
That is so cool.
What is
Look at
this?
that range hood.
So that would have, exactly, so
Is that
that
what it
is
is?
Yeah.
the fan for the stove. So this trailer actually has a stove that would be built in here, and this would come back to make more counter space.
Oh yeah, you got the ledger. Oh my
That's right.
gosh.
For our Vintage Vacations guests, we do not include use of the stove, simply because a lot of our guests aren't used to working with
Yes.
gas and cooking with gas. It's very unique, and we want to keep we want to keep our trailers as safe as possible. So we do provide coffee makers, we do provide microwaves and toasters and kettles and a barbecue outside on the deck. So all of our trailers come with picnic tables, deck furniture, and an outdoor grill that you can grill on.
So nobody's missing out.
Nobody's missing out, but we do love to have the authentic stove still here.
Such a great
This
aesthetic.
is just amazing. Oh, look inside.
You can imagine back in the 60s putting a tray of cookies into the oven. Yeah.
40 years ago, I saw a trailer in Mexico, and then 27 years ago or something, I got my first one, and it just kind of grew. I had my website up for, I think, a year, and I got my first television show, right? It was a short little segment. But then over the next few years, I did like 6 shows, and it just grew, and my mind was taken off, and I always remembered that trailer on the beach in Mexico. And I said, one of these days, I want to build vintage vacation land, you know, a vintage travel trailer retreat by the sea or something. So when we started, what we were looking for was a place that we could move to, afford, and create this beautiful retreat, vintage vacation land. And when we went through immigration and moved up here, it was 2008. And the financial meltdown happened, and our house plummeted, and we were banking on equity, and it all went away. So we got here, and that idea didn't get put on the back burner, it just got tossed. We didn't have the funds to do it anymore. So I gave up on it. Just kind of went on with life. I was restoring trailers, I was picking on odd jobs or whatever. Not odd, but I do a lot of like cabin work and stuff for folks, fine detail. I keep that old spirit of the cabins going. So I just gave up on the idea of building this beautiful vintage trailer retreat. And then when Chris and Christy contacted me to restore their trailer for them, I said, wonderful, you know, perfect. So we hit it off. Our energy we just glommed onto each other, we did, you know. And one day they contacted me and they said, so we've got this idea. We're thinking, what if we get, because they have this, you know, the Shubie Park. And they said, what if we got like 6 more Airstreams? Would you restore them for us so that we can use them as rental units? I said, absolutely. And gratitude. Thank you for that, you know? So you know how it is in Nova Scotia, you got to think about your winter work, right? So I was set, and I was filled with gratitude, but I was only thinking work. And a few months had gone by, and I said, oh, you know, what I'll do is I'll sell you this Airstream that I have. I had one, And we started on that, and they contacted me and they said, okay, so this crazy idea is growing even more. So now we're thinking maybe not 6 trailers, but a dozen trailers, different property, and we're thinking about what to call the place, and we cannot get past your name, Vintage Vacations. It's just absolutely perfect. So what we would love to do is to buy these trailers, have you restore them, call the place Vintage Vacations, and create an homage to you and all that you've done for the vintage trailer world over the year. And so I was just so filled with gratitude. But I'm still thinking work. I'm stuck in that work mode. Oh, I don't have to worry for the next 6 winters, right? And then one day I came out and I was working on that second trailer, and after dinner I came out and sat down, and it was kind of taking in my work, seeing how it jived with the initial vision and what do I need to do. And as I'm sitting there, suddenly I was like a Clydesdale horse. I had these blinders on, and those blinders came off, and I saw the big picture, and I started crying because I realized what they had brought to me was the dream that we worked towards for so many years. But that dream that I let go of, they brought it to me on a silver platter. So I'm doing exactly what I came here to do. And it just doesn't get any better than that.
I didn't even know Safari was a model that they made.
Sure is.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Though this is obviously smaller than the other 2.
This is a 1961 Safari and fairly original. And yes, this one is just over 20 feet. And you can tell the difference when you lose that 5 feet.
Thank you for justifying that.
But a lot of our guests love this trailer, partially because she is original. She really has that 1960s vibe to her. She is very compact, but offers all of the same amenities as all of our other trailers. And really, I don't know, it kind of reminds you of like being at grandma's house.
Yeah,
So
that's
true.
a good way to put it. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so like the wet bath, so you've got the toilet in the shower. Because I was thinking wooden shower door, but this is storage. Neat. Wow. Wow. It's the little pink sink and everything. Oh, Tyson, you have to have a look at this. This is just wild. It's like going back in time.
So while we kept this trailer as original as possible, there were a few little details that Craig added. As you can see, the magazine rack here and some of our spice racks have that original gold detail that was authentic to the trailer in the 1960s. Unfortunately, the lights didn't survive, but Craig handmade these so that they match the vibe and the aesthetic.
Oh, do they
That is
ever?
so wild.
Wow.
So let's go take a look at this one over here. This is one of the latest ones to arrive for the Vintage Vacations project. This trailer is a 1949 Liberty coach that came out of Michigan, and it was actually stored under a cabana for all these years, and that's why we have the plastic on it. So let's take a look in this one.
Sure.
This is a original untouched. So it's got a little bit of damage, but not much. You're gonna love what you see in here.
Oh my God, the screen door, I cannot even.
That's amazing.
As you saw there at Vintage Vacations, Christy has named all the trailers. They all have women's names. And I stepped up and said, ooh, I have a name suggestion. She says, what's that? And I said, Juanita. And she says, what's Juanita? And I said, you'll see. And what Juanita is, I have an incredible collection of 1940s Mexicana. Oh. And and I bought it to use for Vintage Vacation Land. So I'm going to do this trailer. This is going to be the California Mexicana trailer with all the wonderful little details in it.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I've got a wonderful source for vintage fabrics, new old stock fabrics in San Francisco, and she has this incredible kind of Mexicana fabrics from the 40s that we're going to use for curtains in here. Yeah, the oven is 1970s. It's not original to the trailers. It would have been a more rounded white one, but this the backsplash here is a common type that was used. It's actually tempered masonite that was stamped and then enameled. And I love this, the red grout on the
Yeah.
white tile. It's just
Really
beautiful.
pops.
So I will clean that up and restore it. And we'll keep all of this as much as possible and just try and restore it.
But there is something about those wood interiors, hey? It just gives you a different vibe.
It has the glow.
Oh,
It's the glow.
the window boxes are just incredible.
This is the wonderful thing about working with Chris and Christy at Vintage Vacations is I get to do that. We have all these trailers that I get to come up with these incredible ideas. They've just kind of left it up to me. The themes of each trailer, the motif that we use.
This is Rose. She's a 1965 Sovereign. And as you can see, highly polished. She has she has the original awning as well. This Airstream is 31 feet. And when you step inside, you're going to feel how spacious and what that actually feels like.
Oh, imagine it. Imagine it with me. Oh my God.
I do like that dinette. Very spacious. Imagine the friends you could have over.
This is, like we solved the couch issue.
This one had a couch in the front and was actually in really, really rough shape.
Oh yeah.
And when you're buying these trailers sight unseen, because we're not flying to Michigan,
That's right.
you know, we do a video walkthrough and we sort of cross our fingers and hope that what we see is the reality. This one was a little rougher than we had hoped. But that's where Craig's magic comes in.
You would never, ever say that.
Once again, I think the shower is bigger than ours.
You're just
Quite
giving me
confident.
more
Quite
reasons to upgrade.
Now all of a sudden, now that Vintage Vacations is up and alive, I've just, you know, I've been rejuvenated. And I'm like, oh, more, what can I do? So I'm back into the internet on trailers and everything.
There's a history, a lore, a culture that
vibe.
A vibe, but also there's this culture that is part of the Airstream community. I mean, back in the 50s and 60s, when Wally Brown, the original founder of the Airstream, started bringing these communities of travelers together in a way that nobody else was doing it. And they traveled all over the world. There's pictures in the books of them, you know, taking their Airstreams through Egypt and to Africa. And he created this culture of traveler that wanted to be together. And we wanted to be able to continue on with that tradition and bring those travelers who not just love Airstreams, but traveling together in these trailers and that kind of vintage vibe together in one place. And once you step inside, I mean, it's, I don't know, there's just something magic about them.
What'd you think?
Well, I think this backfired for you, trying to get me to downgrade.
We'll see. We'll see.
Just picture the vision here with me.
With your new 1-ton diesel truck?
Yes, your new 1-ton diesel truck, my new 30-foot trailer. Just, I can see the dream.
Well, keep dreaming.
Dream it with me.
Keep dreaming.
Dream it with me.
Let's go.
So what one was your favorite one today? I'm so curious.
Probably the one that they did custom for themselves.
Roxanne.
Yeah, that was really cool. I did really like the dinette and the huge one though. That was pretty cool.
That's what I like to hear, Tyson. On the same page. I'm definitely torn between those two as well. I really liked Roxanne, and I loved the International.
The cushions on the huge dinette were really nice.
That dinette is a game changer. I would sacrifice space for that, because just how easily you can put the table down if you were using it to watch TV or just actually lounge like a living room, that would be amazing.
Oh yeah.
I would love that. Have you ever been to a motor museum?
I don't know where you were going with that. No, I have not. But the mystery was palpable.
Me neither. I wouldn't say we're big car people.
I like trucks.
Yeah.
I do like cars,
Do you?
but I love trucks.
So you didn't know that about you. It's motor museum bringing people together.
And I love Airstreams.
And they have one.
Let's do it.
I do like seeing classic cars, so that is pretty cool.
Yeah. I like when people take care of that stuff and you see them all polished up and in great shape. I am personally not someone who would dedicate the time to infinite tinkering and cleaning, etc. But I appreciate the efforts of others.
Are you excited to see this thing?
Yeah, always.
I love seeing new Airstreams. Oh, I blew it. How dare you laugh at my misfortune. Oh my God, this is incredible. Alex, I've never been in an auto museum before, and I've never seen a trailer like this. What can you tell us about it?
Yeah, so this is our Airstream. We had it customed at Custom Airstream in Quebec. We changed it to a restaurant-style cafe, and we got a whole bunch of appliances in there to, you know, kind of get hot dogs ready, chicken nuggets, anything like that, right? Poutines.
The very diner feel.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of going for that retro diner aesthetic.
Was it always an Airstream they knew they wanted to have for this?
Yeah, we had that idea for the museum here, just to give a little extra pop to the museum, you know, sell snacks and drinks for guests who come in. So.
I bet people love it.
Yeah, it's definitely a big hit.
Alex, it definitely looks like a vintage Airstream. What can you tell us about this model?
Yeah, so it's a 1974 31-foot Airstream that was stripped down to about 10 to 15% of its original and then converted into the cafe.
What an incredible amount of work, eh?
Yeah, no kidding. And it just looks so great.
I mean, I guess we had a vision for it and then kind of designed it up and gave our ideas, and then this is what it turned out to be.
Is it a very, do you work in there?
Every now and then, yeah.
Okay. Like, is it a
Every
very
now and then.
hard space to work in? Like, we know what it's like to live in one.
Yeah.
And cooking is not always the most fun.
Yeah, it can definitely get hot in there sometimes. You might need to step out for a little breather every now and then, but it's, for the most part, we make it work, so.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So what is the Steel Wheel Motor Museum, if people don't know?
So yeah, it's a classic car museum. We have about 65 cars in here, 20 some motorcycles as well, and it's open to the public, and they can come in. Feel free to check out some cars, take some pictures of cool cars that they might not see on the road every day.
What's the most popular menu item right now at the cafe?
Yeah, so I'd say a couple of the most popular items would be the poutine, the donair dippers, and the chicken nuggets.
Classic.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a chicken nugget?
Yeah,
Diner
exactly.
food, always good.
That's true. We're big fans. Do you think we'll ever see more Airstreams heading in here?
Maybe. We'd have to clear some space for that, though, so which is tough. So the owner of the museum really loves Airstreams. He is an avid collector of them and has a whole bunch more than what you just see behind us.
Oh, man.
Our kind of guy.
Our kind of guy. Well, that was fun.
What'd you think?
It was pretty cool. Like, I can't believe how many vehicles they have in there, and like a really wide variety.
I would eat at that diner anytime.
This is such a shiny Airstream.
And who doesn't like hot dogs?
It's such a
Or
great
nuggets.
I can't believe you're trying to convince me to downgrade to a smaller.
It is not a downgrade. It's a downsize.
Downsize.
There you go.
To a smaller Airstream.
Think of the money you would be able to spend at bakeries and nice little shops
No.
if we had less money spent on gas.
Don't try and
Oh,
spin
yeah.
this
Oh yeah.